very warm welcome to my workout tonight. As always, I'm just starting a minute or two early just to allow people to get themselves all set up with what they need, set up with their technology. Tonight we'll just be using the mat and we'll be using head cushion, but that's it, that's all you need, nice and simple. Right, let's go for it again, guys. So we're going to start just with some nice calming, relaxing box breathing. So when you're ready, I want you to breathe in for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold there. 1, 2, 3. Let's go again. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold there. 2, 3, 4. Relax. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3. Try again. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2. Okay, just a couple more. You're doing well. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold it there. 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. Hold there. 2. Last time here. In, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. Right, well hopefully everybody who's joining us tonight has got themselves all sorted out. So as always, I've not got any particular injuries in mind while I'm teaching this. Please listen to your body. If something hurts, if something doesn't feel right, don't do it. Take a break, do a modification, whatever your body feels right doing. Okay, I will try and give some easier, harder options, give a little few tips if there are some injuries, but please, please, please listen to your body. Don't do anything that's going to make you feel worse than at the start of the workout. That is not the plan. Okay, but let's start as we always begin. We're going to start getting our alignment right. So we'll start with our feet directly under our hip bones. So finding those pointy bits at the front of the hips, going straight down the feet directly below. And we're just going to work through the feet. So letting the body weight come forwards, coming up onto the toes, rolling it back. So the body weight is going from the front to the back of the feet and allowing the toes to really reach and stretch out and getting some stretching through the feet, especially if they've been in shoes all day. They might have been all cramped up and they just need to get some movement in there. Just feeling really nice underfoot. Okay, letting that weight come to settle midway between the front and back. We'll just roll the ankles out and in if it is comfy for you to do so. Obviously if your ankles don't like this, then you can either continue with the forward back or just give it a little break. And allowing the body weight to sit underneath the middle of the feet there. Okay, so if it's comfy having the feet pointing forwards, if you need to have them a little bit splayed out because that's better for your hips and your ankles and knees, that's absolutely fine. Do what works for you. Moving up through the body, the knees are just gently soft. Moving up through to the pelvis. Imagine that bowl of water in the pelvis. So I'm just going to tuck under and over. So just allowing that bowl of water to let the water flow out at the front, flow out at the back. So we've just got that nice, gentle, almost rocking movement of the pelvis. And it is this lower half of the spine that we're working with here. So really the upper part of the spine isn't moving very much at all. You're just tucking that tailbone underneath and allowing it to flare backwards. And coming to let that settle so that the bowl of water is still and the water is just contained right in the middle. And making sure that also you've not got too much left to right sway, okay? So we're sitting nicely, the pelvis is sitting directly over the knees, over the feet, moving up through the spine. So imagine just lengthening down with the tailbone and pulling up through the spine. If you had a piece of string at the top of your head and it's drawing you up, drawing you tall, and a weight on your tailbone, you're just allowing that spine to elongate, to be nice and long with natural curves all the way through it. Okay, the ribs sit directly over the hips, so there's no movement left to right, and they're not flaring out or tucking under, but we've got a neutral spine, small curve at the base of the back. Let's just work with the shoulders. Move the shoulders forwards, up, back, and plant them down the back so the shoulder blades draw down towards the back pockets. That will naturally open out the front of your shoulders, gentle squeeze behind the shoulder blades at the back, and opening out through the front of the chest. Okay, still standing up nice and tall, chin should be kind of pointing directly forwards, and you're looking neutrally forward. So this should feel like a really nice, relaxed position, but a neutral, strong position as well. So a really good base to be working from tonight. Okay, so we've got our alignment. Let's go for our breathing. When you're ready, just do some nice full and wide in and out breaths. So full and wide in, feel the rib cage expand, and out the rib cage contracts. Imagine it's like a set of bellows that's opening and squeezing together, and it's calm and it is controlled. Okay, so you're working at your pace. That is not necessarily going to be what mine is, okay? Fingertips might be comfortable on the rib cage so you can feel as you breathe in, those fingers spread apart and the fingers come back together as you breathe out. But enjoying these long, wide breaths. Okay, and our core contraction tonight, we're just going to imagine that hipster belt. So imagine you've got a belt with 10 notches on it. On your next full and wide breath in, breathe in, and take that belt into the 10th notch. So you're tightening around the lower part, around the pelvis, lower part of the core, and squeezing there. You might feel the drawing up inside of the pelvic floor, and release that. That is a really tight contraction. It's an unnaturally tight contraction for your core. Okay. Just take a little moment to recover. And when you're ready, you've got to go for the 5th notch on the belt. So breathe in, tighten up around the core, 50% contraction. So still reasonably tight, but you can breathe through it, you can work through it. You could hold it for a slightly prolonged period if you needed to, but relax that there. Okay, and on the next full and wide breath in, we're going to go for the 3rd notch of the belt, so a 30% contraction. So when you're ready, breathe in, just tighten up around the hips. You might feel a drawing up inside the body. And that's all of these lovely core muscles that sling under the body, just drawing up and inside and tightening around that hips and pelvic region. And that's the contraction we're aiming to hold as much as we can for the rest of this class. So I will keep reminding you, I'll remind you to put your belt on, and that's what we mean tonight. We've got this hipster belt around the hips. Wonderful. Okay, so let's really warm up the body now. So we'll start, as I always do enjoy starting actually, with shoulder rolls. I think they're so good. This is an area of such tension in the body. So when you're ready, really nice, big, wide, up shoulder rolls. The fingertips are leading the movement all the way to the top, going wide. You might find the hands go slightly behind the shoulders. If that's comfy on your shoulders, that's all good. But just finding the range of your movement. And ideally keeping your shoulders down. So rather than drawing the shoulders up towards the ears at the top and really scrunching up, draw them down. You can still get a lovely big range of movement around that shoulder joint with the shoulder blades pulled down towards the back pockets. So you can take this nice and slowly if you like. There's a point where you really actually could do with just holding it or working back and forth a little bit, feathering through. Feel free to do that. Or just enjoying a really continuous, smooth movement. Okay, lovely. And from here, we're going to go for a move that I like to call screwing the light bulb, okay? So taking one hand, palm facing forwards, I'm going to take the feet slightly wider, and imagine my little finger is going from the outside of the body, screwing across up to the top corner of the room. As I go, you'll note that my body is twisting, the heel is coming off the floor, and you've got this really nice, lovely long stretch across and up the body. So I'm feeling it down the side, stretch and reach. And it's a lovely, smooth, flowing, controlled movement. Just holding that as we're going. Seeing how high and how far across the body you can reach. Lovely. And getting a little kind of gentle twisting movement in between. So you're allowing those hips to rock round. You're getting the stretch all the way from those fingertips down the side, all the way down through the leg. Okay, and this time I want you to hold it up there. So hold it up, let the gaze fall down to the floor, let the heel on the far foot fall down to the floor, and maintaining this lovely stretch along the side of the body. You can really feel it all the way down this side, and actually all the way down into the leg and up to the fingertips. It's a lovely stretch all the way down. Alright, release it there. Give it a little bit of a shake. It's actually quite hard work holding it up there. So just give it a little bit of a shake, let the blood flow. Okay, and we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So palm forward, fingers out to the side, the little finger out towards the side of the room. And we're going to screw from here. So the palm is going to go towards the back of the room and up to the ceiling if it can rotate that far. The opposite heel again is coming off the floor, and you've got that lovely smooth flow up into the top corner. Feeling the stretch down the side of the body. So you've got some extra space in the rib cage at the side. So you could breathe in to that side of the rib cage if you'd like to. You're getting a little twist through the spine as you're rocking back and forth. And it's a smooth rocking movement. Lovely. And last one, let's hold this one up here again. Hold up, hold up. Okay, let the gaze drop down, so the neck's in a nice neutral position. Let the heel drop down at the other side. And still feeling that big long stretch. You've got a nice open rib cage, open at the side, and that length all the way from the heel, all the way to the fingertips. So it should feel like a beautiful stretch down the side of the body. Lovely. And release it there again. Give it a little shake. Have a little bit of movement. I'm going to just swing round. Get a little bit of movement back into the shoulders, back into the upper body. Wonderful. So from here, if we come back to our neutral position, so feet directly under the hips, got that nice neutral position, and what we're going to do, we're going to breathe in and raise the arms in front, shoulder blades still down the back, and come up onto your toes, and then bring it back down as you breathe out. So breathe in, up onto your toes, and breathe out. So you get the sensation of length through the body. The spine is lovely and long, but this flowing movement through the shoulders and arms. So you're sweeping them up on the breath in, sweeping them down on the breath out. Lovely. And also obviously working the balance, working those calf muscles. So you might already be feeling that into your calves if you're going nice and high and holding that position a little while. If you would like to work the calves slightly more, just make sure on the way down that they're ever so gently touched on the floor, as though it's that block of ice under your heels. So actually you're maintaining the weight towards the front of the foot, towards the toes, just to give those calves a little bit of an extra workout at the start of our movement practice today. Okay, lovely. And we'll relax that here. We're going to work side to side now. So to start with, let's get a really nice stretch into the neck. So I want you to bring the ear down towards the shoulder on one side. Feeling the stretch down the side of the neck. Now the fingers of the other hand, I want you to reach down towards the floor. Getting that extra stretch down the side of the neck. Just allowing the weight of the head to draw it over towards the shoulder. And feeling the length down the side. We're going to switch sides, so take the head over the top, ear over towards the other shoulder, and reach down with the opposite fingers. Lovely. Getting a really nice stretch into the side of this neck. And release it there. So now we're just going to progressively go side to side of the head. And I'm going to allow the shoulders to enter into this movement. So it's a side, stretch, the head's moving. Now because the shoulders are moving, the upper part of the back is getting some flexion to the side. I'm imagining I'm between two panes of glass. So there's no rocking forwards and backwards here. It's literally side to side. And slowly, slowly, I'm going to allow more and more of the spine to flex to the side. So gradually my fingers are getting closer and closer towards my knees as I'm flexing. And again, work at your pace, there's no rush. You take it nice and slowly. And as the fingertips do get closer, the opposite arm will naturally probably feel like it needs to just rise a little bit to compensate. So the elbow might rise on the opposite side. Just getting that movement of flexion through the body. Again, remembering that we're imagining we're between two panes of glass. Lovely. And just finishing that here. Now, we've got to do a little bit of squat work here. So, I will warn you, there are quite a few squats. But what I want you to do is working at your pace. So if squats are really quite hard work on your thighs, you don't need to go particularly deep, okay? I'm focusing on the movement, the mobility. If you like a bit of squat work, you want to work the thighs, work the glutes, by all means, you do them nice and deep, okay? But to start with, I just want to squat down so the bottom's going back and down, the knees are staying kind of behind the toes, so maybe over the midfoot, but a squat down with the spine long, core still engaged. When you're ready, flop that upper body down, over the top, straightening up through the legs and rolling up through the spine. So it's coming down through a squat with a nice long spine, flopping the upper body over, straightening the legs and rolling up. So it's almost like a wave kind of movement. You're going down, over, straighten. I'm just going to show you from the side. If it's not a move you're used to, might make more sense from the side. So it's a squat down with a long spine, flop the upper body over, straighten up and rolling up. So squat down, flop over. Now if you would like to, you can go deeper into your squat. So a really nice deep squat down, bum goes right down and flop over, rolling it back up. Or you might just want to take it quite gently on the squat, so a little one, but you're allowing the upper body to feel heavy as you go down and rolling back up. So just think about what feels quite nice for you tonight. Remembering we've still got that hipster belt on, so all this time the core is contracted, supporting the lower back throughout the move. We'll just do two more. So flopping down and working back up vertebrae by vertebrae. So it's a long spine and then flopping forwards. It's all controlled. Controlled, lovely, smooth movement. Okay, let's hold that there. Now a little bit more squat work here. I'm going to do squat to a front leg lift. So this time it's all lower body. The chest is remaining kind of chest proud, so you can always see the logo on my t-shirt. So I'm going to squat down, knee lift in front. Now, to think about here again, you go as deep or as shallow in your squat as you wish. I don't mind. What I'd like you to think about is how high you can get this knee at the front. Really working into the mobility around the hip joint, strength of the hip flexors, to try and bring that knee up at the front. So squat down, bottom goes back and down, knee up. And on the balancing leg, you're not locking that leg out, just a gentle bend in the knee. Let me show you. It's just a gentle bend, but the spine remains long in the whole of this movement. There's no curving over or arching of the spine. It's a lower body work. Okay, we're just going to change it now, but when we go down, as we come up, I want you to just take the foot out and round. So we'll squat down, alternate legs, so taking the leg out and round. So we're going through the movement in the hip joint. Okay, how comfortable are you taking it round? It's kind of like a semicircle roughly that you're going for. Just going forward, round, bringing it back in. Now we have done a few squats already, so this might actually feel like a lot of work on the quads and the glutes. These big quads, lovely big muscles at the front of the leg, glutes basically your bum. So again, just if you want to keep it shallow, keep it shallow. If you're thinking, do you know what, tonight is the night, so I'm going to work it nice and deep. Okay. And after this one, next time you squat down, I just want you to bring the foot in front and do some toe circles. So 3 in one direction and then 3 in the other. And then we'll squat down, alternate legs. So 3 in one direction, really working on the range of motion in that ankle. So there's no rush here. If you want to just really work through that ankle mobility, that's fine. And we'll do it again. So it's got that squat in the middle. It'd be rude not to, we've been working really hard on those squats already. And then 3 in the other direction. And squat down. Last time on this leg. 3, and in the other direction, 1, 2, 3. Okay, give it a rest there. If you need to give it a little rub, a little pat. I confess I did quite a hard leg workout yesterday, So I am feeling this today. That's my own fault though. Right, so our balances tonight. I've got 2 balances for you. One of them, the first one we're going to start with is a warrior 3 if you're used to doing yoga, okay, but we'll work up to that position. So I'll show you from the side because it's easy to see what I'm doing from the side. So to start with, I'm going to imagine I'm a kind of straight line from top of the head down to one of my heels. And what I'm going to do is bring the arms forward and just take the foot back. And just as I'm getting used to this move, you can start just dragging the toe forward and back. But slowly, slowly, building up that range of movement. Now obviously if you want to keep the toe down, by all means keep the toe down. If you want to hang on to something or be near to a wall or something you can just have your hand onto, again, that's absolutely fine. But if you can and you're comfortable doing it, really focus on trying to get into a T shape. So you've got a lovely long position, your legs reaching back, your hands are reaching forwards, and you're getting kind of 90 degrees with that standing leg. Okay, we'll just do a couple more moving, and I'm going to ask you to hold that position, whatever your final position looks like. Right, when you're ready, this one, let's do it. So reach, reach, reach. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. That standing leg has a really good workout doing that one. So let's go and have a go on the other side. So I'll show you again from the side. Got to make sure you do the other leg. This could all go wrong if I get confused. Okay. So to start with, imagine that straight line kind of one side of the body. I'm just going to start allowing the toe in the first instance just to drag forwards and back. And slowly as I build up confidence in my body to be able to do this move. It's a strong move, it's a tricky move. Gradually building up the range of movement into that joint. This standing knee is still quite soft. I recommend you to find a spot on the floor or something to continue to look at while you're in the flex position. Okay, we'll do a couple more moving. You should be really feeling it in the standing ankle, the standing knee. Keeping that standing knee just gently soft. Okay, you ready for it? You ready? You ready? This one's hold. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's get in position. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm getting that really in the standing calf and the standing leg. All that work to try and keep that balanced position, as well as the leg of the glute of the leg that was lifting to hold that position tall. Wonderful. One more balance for you, because I always like to do 2. It's going to be a lunge. Okay, let me just show you the bottom position of a lunge in an ideal world. And I appreciate lunges aren't for everyone, okay? But if this kind of position works for you, the bottom of a lunge will have 90 degrees on that front knee, 90 degrees on that back knee. You're just going to be hovering. Half an inch, 6 inches, 12 inches up. Okay, but my back goes straight up. And it just depends on the strength in your legs, how low you want to go. Okay, so it's part strength, part balance, this move. So what I want you to do is set yourself up into that position. So it's a lovely big stance. Feet, imagine they're on tram tracks hip distance apart. So they're not totally lined up, they're just a natural hip distance wide. When you're ready, if you'd like to take your arms wide, we're going to go down into that lunge position. Okay, so the core is still switched on. I'm already feeling that back quad. But from here, I just want you to twist and back. And the other way, and back, bring it up for a rest. When you're ready, take it down. Twist. So again, the depth of your lunge will determine how much work into the legs you're doing here. And down. Twist and twist. And up. We'll do 2 more, so we'll do 5 in total. Twist and twist. Last one, thank goodness. down. Twist. Twist. Bring it back. Come up, come up, come up. Ah! What was I thinking? That's not a good one after a big leg walkout, but you know, we're getting good. This is how we get stronger. Right, I want you to imagine that position on the other side. So if you need to do a quick check and just go down into the lunge position to get your feet really comfortable to start with, that's fine, okay? So when you are comfy and when you are ready, again, spine is long and tall, arms wide. Okay, let's do it here. Let's go down. Twist one way, twist the other way. Don't get paranoid if you're going opposite to me, it's fine. Take it up, that was one. Take it down. How low can that back knee go? The depth of the back knee will determine the amount of kind of strength work you're working into. Okay, this is the third one. So I'm feeling the wobble in that front leg to try and maintain balance as I'm rotating through this move. You'll probably be able to see it if you watch me. But you shouldn't watch me, I'm moving, okay? Look at something stationary, much better. Okay, down. Last one. Last one. Well done. Awesome. Give it a roll. Get that blood flowing. Get that blood flowing. Right. I'm going to ask you to come to one end of the mat. So tonight we're going to be at the back of our mat. So we will be going kind of forwards. So we're going to start with some roll downs. And I'm going to progress the roll downs as we usually do. Just doing a little sequence. So getting that neutral position, getting the hips aligned. Drawing in the waist so that you've got this hipster belt on. Standing up tall. When you're ready, breathe in, the core is switched on. Breathe out, tuck the chin, we're just rolling down. We're not going to get super far, we're going to work through this range of motion. So maybe going to about 50% to start with. Coming out, opening out the chest at the top. Back to neutral, tuck the chin, roll it down. So you're peeling your vertebrae down one by one, nice and slowly and gradually. We're going to do 5 or 6 of these to get down to our full range of motion. So we're gradually working it through. Knees remaining just gently soft. And each time I'm peeling the spine away. If I was standing against a wall, it would be like peeling tape off a parcel, just bit by bit by bit. And if I was coming back, just replacing those vertebrae one by one, so the lower back gets into position first and works up through the spine. Okay, you should be coming towards kind of the end of your range of movement when you get there. We'll just do one more. And this one, when you get there, just hang out for me. Just hang out at the bottom. So peeling, 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 peeling. Just hang out, just hold it there. If you want to, you can grab the opposite elbow with the hand, letting the head hang down, letting that upper body hang down towards the floor. And you might just want to rock side to side, release through the hips, release any tension held through the spine, allow those vertebrae just to gently ease apart. Head is heavy, shoulders are heavy. Coming to let that settle here, hands down. Okay, what I want you to do from here is a move kind of called the inchworm, which is walk the hands forward. You can bend the knees if you need to, but walking forwards into something like a plank position. So going to a straight back, and when you're ready, we're going to walk it back. So this time it's a little bit of movement. We'll keep the head down, we're going to walk it forward again. Into a plank. Coming to that plank, when you're ready, lift the tailbone, lift the hips and walk those hands back. And again, going down to a plank, hips up, push the hands back. And the last one, this time we will hold that plank at the end, going through that nice long plank position, hold it there. Okay, drop the knees and pushing back into child's pose. We'll just have a little relax in child's pose. So the bottom is aiming towards the heels. The hands might be overhead, they might be towards the feet, just allowing the shoulders to fall down. Just finding your comfortable position.
just take a couple of breaths here. Okay, and when you're ready, I just want you to take the body weight forward. So you don't need the cushion for this particular exercise. I'll just get mine out of the way. Coming down into a prone position, so where you're lying on your tummy. We're going to do some swan dives. So I want the arms, so the elbows are directly out from the shoulders. You've got kind of a capital E. If you imagine your arms and your head, make a capital E. I will also take my glasses off, otherwise they'll fall off. Okay, so toes together, let the heels flop out to the side in the first instance, just to really release that lower body. You don't want to, in the first instance, be working the glutes. We're going to focus on the upper body to start with. So you've got this prone position. I want you to tuck the tailbone gently under. It's just tucking under. So you're pressing the pubic bone gently in towards the mat. Okay? You can face down. When you're ready, breathe in. Put on that hipster belt. And then we're going to raise just the upper body using those back muscles. So I'm not really pressing down on my arms at all. And it's a raise and lower. So just raise it up, relax it down. So lengthening the front of the body to raise up by working through the upper back to really bring up those head and the shoulders gently off the mat. Now if this is feeling good, you'd like a little bit more range of movement, when you get to the top of the movement that your back provides, just gently press through the forearms. Get a little bit of extra stretch in there, and then bring it down. And again, we'll go for that. Press through the forearms, then release the forearms and release the back. If you'd like to now, go for the upper back, forearms, and if you want to, press through the hands, the forearms come off the mat, and you get a little bit more range of motion. Again, release through the hands, release through the forearms, release through the back. Okay, so we're getting quite a smooth, flowing movement. Really feel like you're lengthening through the front of the body, working the upper back to get there, at least in the start, so the upper back works, and pressing through the forearms and hands. Now if you wish to, you can also use the lower body in this exercise, and it may be more comfortable for you to have the feet a little bit wider. You might be happy having them roughly hip distance apart. But when the upper body comes down, engage the glutes, keep the legs long, and gently lift the lower body. So it might only be a couple of inches off the floor. And then when the lower body goes down, upper body can go back up. So imagine you're like a seesaw. And lift that lower body. Now, if you just find one or the other feels much better, you'd rather just stick with the upper body or stick with the lower body, do that. There is no pressure to do both. And again, you might find it more comfortable having the feet slightly wider. If you want to try that. So pressing up. And then if you want to try with the feet a little bit wider, to draw the feet up towards the ceiling. But it's all about lengthening, squeezing through the glutes to bring the legs up. Doesn't have to be super high. And if you feel any twinging, any discomfort in the lower back, don't worry about the lower part of the body. And you might just want to stick with that smaller range of movement of the upper body. So just sticking with that gentle work in the upper back. So not pressing through the forearms, because frankly not everybody's back enjoys it. So this is certainly one to listen to what works for you. Okay. And relax it there. I'm just going to get you to push through all fours back to child's pose again to release that lower back. So just push through, keep going. If you want to, you can have the knees wider and going back into child's pose. If you prefer to have your knees together, that's fine. You might want them wider so your chest can just get an inch or two lower without your knees getting in the way. The aim in child's pose is to get that bum back and down, releasing that lower back. Again, the hands may be in front, they may be down. Might feel quite nice if the hands are above the head. If you just tent the hands up so you're on your fingertips and draw the shoulder blades down and back, you get a nice stretch through the lats, those big back muscles that are like bat wings at the back. A lovely stretch doing this, so just drawing those shoulder blades down in this position. Okay, release it here. We're just going to come to a side lying position, so you might want to go through all fours. Just come onto your side. We're going to do some clown work. So here, ideally you have something like a cushion for under your head. We've got a side lying position. If you prefer to, for this one, you can have your arm underneath your head if that's comfier. But this is that position where it's like you've fallen off a chair. Okay, so you've got 90 degrees at the hips, 90 degrees at the knees. Ankles, knees and hips are aligned. I want you to ease that top hip away. Draw the waist. So imagine you can fit a straw just underneath your waist. Okay. From here, I want you to think about having a lovely long spine and the arms are just relaxed. You might find it comfier to have one arm in front or just have them along the leg, whichever works for you. But drawing those shoulder blades down the back, keeping the spine long. Okay. So we're full and wide breathing. Let's get our breathing back. So full and wide. Okay, breathe in, engage the core. As you breathe out, I just want you to squeeze this muscle at the outer part of the leg and take those knees apart and release. So breathe out to lift the leg, breathe in to bring it back. You're just getting this lovely squeeze. Now the temptation is to roll those hips. Roll them back as the leg opens. What I want you to do is really hold that position so the hips are remaining stacked up towards the ceiling. You've still got that top hip gently eased away, so I'm maintaining that little gap underneath my waist. You might find it helpful to remind you of this if you can, if it's comfy on your shoulders, just to wind your arm behind and under your waist if it fits there. If not, you might want to just have your hand on the back of the top hip, just to hold that position. So you've got that feedback, that little feedback. The temptation, like I say, would be to rock here. We want to focus on this abductor muscle on the outer thigh. Okay, if you find this nice and you'd like to work a little bit harder, when you come up, you can lengthen and then bring it back. So squeeze, open, leg back and down. Squeeze, open, leg back. It's purely optional, okay? If you're quite happy with the up and down, you crack on with that. It's fine. So listen to your body. And remember, every week you're going to feel a little bit different. As I said, my legs are quite achy today. So actually, this feels good for me. But if your legs are feeling fantastic, you're like, do you know what, I really want to work it. Go for that nice long leg position. Still thinking about that long spine. Still got the shoulder blades drawn down the back. We're just going to do a couple more. Last one. So squeeze, extend, back and down. And here you go. Give it a rub, give it a pat, bit of movement. Okay, if you want to, you can release the leg in front. Lovely. And we'll have a little stretch on that quad, this big muscle at the front. So if you straighten the top leg away from you so the knee is pointing down, holding onto the shoelace area of the foot, pushing the hip forwards, pushing the shoelace area into my hand. So keeping a gap between the heel and the bottom, but really feeling that stretch on the front of the thigh. Feels quite nice. Okay, releasing that here. We're going to maintain this side lying position and we're going to do some chalk circles. So now we're getting a really nice stretch and release through the upper body. Okay. So again, just get that neutral position, gently ease the hip away, you'll have a small gap under the waist, spine is long, knees, ankles, hips aligned, and it's as though you've fallen off a chair. Now this time the shoulder blades are still drawn down the back and the hands are together in the front of the body. Okay, breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, just take this top arm and imagine you're trying to draw a circle all the way around your body. Opening out, so the hips are ideally not moving. At the back of this move, you've got that reach over the head and then opening the chest out towards the ceiling, so the head is kind of rolling back and forwards as you go round. So I'm looking towards the camera for now, and then as my hand goes above my head, I allow my head to roll backwards, opening that chest out. And if you want to just hold this open position, just get a lovely stretch across the front, then do that. Feels lovely actually. Drawing the shoulder blades still down. When you're ready to continue, keep going with the move. So make your own decision about the speed with which you want to do this. You don't need to be like a windmill, you don't need to be whizzing around. But you might have those positions that you would like to hold for a few seconds each time. Or you might just want to keep it as a really smooth, continuous move. So as a reminder, keep that top hip pushed down towards the feet end of the room. So you're keeping the waist engaged. I am rotating the chest through a long spine. So imagine you've got a broomstick down your back that you are rotating around. As this arm goes round, it is still long, the tailbone is drawn away from the top of the head. And the shoulder blade stays pulled down the back. So it's trying to avoid allowing that top shoulder to collapse up to the ear. Try and keep it pulled down. And it will completely depend on your flexibility. Some people will be able to get that back shoulder really flat on the floor, even with the hips not moving. I'm not quite there, to be absolutely honest. And some people actually are going to find they get to here and they can't really go much above kind of almost straight up, and that's fine. So just thinking about progress for you. And again, if you've got shoulder injuries, that might limit your movement, but you might be able to gradually work on it and increase that. So if anything is feeling twingy, you don't need to go that far. But if this is a move and it feels comfortable but you'd like to work on your mobility, you can really think about that open position, or hold that open position. How far back can you get that top shoulder while maintaining the hips stacked up towards the ceiling? Can you just ease down another half an inch before you continue round? Just do one more. Just do one more. Lovely. And release it there. Relax. Okay, we're going to come onto our backs. So to start with, we'll find that neutral position. So if you normally do have some form of cushion or head pad, please pop that under, or a folded towel, whatever works for you, that keeps your spine feeling really comfy and your neck feeling comfy. Okay, but we're going to find our neutral position. So start with your feet together, take the heels out, take the toes out. Hopefully now, if you look down, the pointy bit of your hips, knees should have followed and feet are all aligned. So if I look down, cannot see anything of my feet. Okay, it's all hidden by the thighs. Okay. So feet are flat on the floor, knees pointed up, and I'm just going to rock through the pelvis. So just allowing that lower back to push into the floor, and then going in the opposite direction, really nice big arch. So getting the movement, the mobilisation of the lower spine. And gradually allowing that to come smaller and smaller, and hitting that neutral position. We've got a small gap under the back. The hips are pointing kind of directly up towards the ceiling. All feels nice and comfy. Now imagine again, drawing that tailbone down, drawing the spine long. So I've got a lovely long spine. The shoulder blades still drawn down the back. The arms released down towards the mat. So probably your hands are pointing up towards the ceiling, maybe in towards your thighs. That gentle stretching sensation across the front of the chest. Okay. We're going to do a variation on kind of a single leg stretch here. So I want you to breathe in, engage the core, so put the hips to belt on. When you breathe out, to start with, I just want you to slide your leg away and bring it back in. So breathe out to go away breathe in to bring it back. Okay, so we'll do 2 on one side, switch sides. So slide away, bring it back. Now make sure this leg that is still down on the floor is very gently touching. Okay, we've done 2, we'll switch sides. If that was comfy and you're happy, start with the leg floating up and then float away. Breathe out to float away, breathe in to bring it back. Out, float away, in to bring it back. The hips are staying really nice and strong. Switch sides. So floating up, lower it away, bring it back. And you're maintaining that gap under your lower back. So the core has that lovely contraction. Switch sides. Okay, this time if you wish to, you can do it from a tabletop position. So both legs floating. When you're ready, float and blow away. And in, away, and in. Now you might still have decided to switch sides to keep that other leg down. That's absolutely fine. So I'm just building it up. Stop at your station, okay? Switch sides. If you prefer the leg slide and that was enough for you, you stick with that and that's all good. And switch sides. Okay. So our final optional add-in, this time, you're going to take the leg away and bring it back twice. Again, maintaining that lower gap, shoulder blades still drawn down. Now I want you to let the knee float to the side. So it's just dropping to the side, going back twice. Other side. So it's away and in, keeping this area solid, away and in. Feet are flopping out to the side and in. And this side move is all about keeping the hips level. So showing you an easier version would be out and in. Now this might be a slide or it might be kind of a floating leg. And then you flopping out and in still with that leg still on the floor. Or you can be doing it as a slide. Ooh, keep that leg down. This is the easier version, so it's a slide out, slide in, slide out, slide in, and with the foot down, knee drop, in, knee drop. So choose your level, keep going. So it's out and in. You should really be feeling it. Take the leg out, and in, out, and in. Other side. You're doing a fantastic job. Just have a little check. Where are your shoulders right now? Are they still a nice long distance away from your ears? Have you been able to maintain that gap under your lower back? This is going to be the last one. So you might want to try doing a slightly harder version. You might want to try doing an easier version. And then let it drop out. Oh, did I say it was the last one for each side? Okay. Switch sides. So blow that leg away, smooth and controlled, foot floppy, leg floppy, hips stable. The hips aren't moving around the mat. Okay, and back to the middle, take one leg down, take the other leg down. Let's give it a rest, let's give it a nice stretch there. So we'll give it a hip flex release, bring one knee in towards the chest, extend the other leg away. And just release that hip flexor. That was a lovely piece of work for the lower body actually. Really worked hard on the hip flexors, worked into the mobility of the hips. Worked the core, very much so. And quite a lot of concentration to try and maintain that hip position. So switch sides. If at any point, at any time during our workouts, we need to grab a drink as well, please do so, okay? I'm trusting your space is safe, that there's nothing you're going to collide with or fall on. I'm trusting that you take a drink when you need one and you're staying safe and you're not hurting yourself. Be gentle. Okay. So from here, release that. Bring the legs back, but bring them closer in towards the bottom. We're going to do some shoulder bridging. So we'll get back that neutral position, but this time I want your heels slightly closer in towards the bottom than they were on the last exercise. Okay. So again, if you want to just rock through the pelvis, your feet should still be hip distance apart, knees hip distance apart. Rocking through the pelvis just to get that comfortable position. And what I'm going to do on this particular shoulder bridge, I'm working into the strength of the glutes as well as the mobility of the spine. I want some strength in the glutes working as well. Okay, so long spine, neutral to start, small gap under the lower back. Shoulders relaxed down onto the mat, shoulder blades drawn down the back, neck is long. When you're ready, breathe in, switch on the core, breathe out, squeeze the glutes, tilt the pelvis and peel that spine away. So the sensation is the knees are easing away, the spine is coming up, the glutes are firing. Okay, bring it back down. We'll just have a couple working on the mobility to start with. So as always, if you've got a little sticky patch in your spine, you can always kind of feather through it, going back through neutral each time. Maintaining a long position, squeeze through the glutes. Right, so let's get the work. If this is working for you, just going up and down, stick with it. And actually, if you just want to stick with the pelvic tilts and work into the mobility of the lower spine, that's fine too. But this time when you're ready, if you'd like to, when the back is high, take the arms over the top. Whoop. Get rid of my cushions, there we go. And then peel the spine back down. And then allow the arms to float back down. So make sure we're back in neutral. Core switched on. Breathe in, engage the core. Breathe out, squeeze the glutes. Peel it off the floor. Take the arms over the top. Now here's this glute work I promised you. I want you to squeeze the glutes and release 3 times. 2. So take the hips high. And then we're going to peel it back down. So it's that little kind of triple pulse, squeezing through those glutes at the top. Okay, so when you're ready, get through neutral. Make sure the core is on and peel it up. So the knees push away, you're working, pressing through the heels. Arms float, you don't need to have the arms floating. If you prefer it just to be lower body, that's fine. Squeeze. 2, 3, and peel it down. Now another little thing for you to think about as you're going, next time your legs come up, just have a little glance down towards your knees. Are you able to keep that knee distance really pretty constant? So breathe in, switch on the core, breathe out, tilt the pelvis. Now have a quick look as you're going. Are those knees staying a constant distance apart? Do you find they flare out or flare in? If you find they're flaring, you might want to just put a little cushion between your knees. Squeeze. 2, 3. Peel down. Okay, so if you do find that, and you want to just pop a cushion, maybe your head pad or something like that, if you get that in the neutral, you might need to just tinker with where your feet were, just so that they've got a nice straight line and you're not in this suddenly weird position. But when you're ready, peel it up. You've got that new stimulus. So squeeze. 2, 3, peeling it down. It'll probably feel quite different. The other way to do it as well is if you happen to have one of those exercise bands that are like a loop, like a big elastic band that goes around your knees, so you're pushing the legs gently against it. Okay, so that was just a little bit of a explore with what was going on with your hip stability. Float over, up, 2, push through those heels, squeeze into the glutes, peel it down. Okay, last time, let's make it a good one. When you're ready, make sure you're in neutral, breathe in, switch on the core, breathe out, squeeze the glutes, peel it up. Floating those arms over, are you ready? Squeeze, 2, 3, and then winding it down. Wind, 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1, and over, and relax it there. Okay, we're going to have a little glute stretch there. Taking the ankle over to the opposite knee, bring that opposite leg in towards the body, feeling the stretch into the glutes and the abductors, so both worked hard. Lovely. relax that leg down. Switch sides. Ankle across the opposite knee. Draw that leg in. Lovely. We're nearly there, guys. Home straight. It is the home straight. Okay, so I'm just going to get you to gently roll up. You might want to hold on to a leg just to roll up, because we need to do our clam on the other side. So bring your head pad with you. We need to do our clam and our circles, and we're done in chalk circles. We are nailing it. Okay, right, so let's get that sideline position again. Hips, knees and ankles all aligned. Gently push that top hip away. Got a sideline position. We'll do the clam first. I'm not too worried about the position of your arms. You might want to just have your top arm lying along your body, something like that. But I've got that little gap under my waist. When you're ready, breathe in, switch on the core. My spine is long. Breathe out. Lift that outer leg. So I'm just opening that gap in between the knees. The ankles are still together. Just squeeze, release. Squeeze and release. Lovely. Now if you remember, and if you would like to try it on this side, and it might feel different, so you might do something different, that's okay. But if you like to, you squeeze and straighten and bring it back. As I mentioned, I've moaned a lot tonight about my legs, haven't I? I can really feel this. It feels good. It's working into that quad, so I've got the abductor here, quad here, sticking with the abductor and back. Again, I am still easing that top hip away, so I've still got that little straw-sized gap under my waist. And I've still got a long spine, so you can have that hand on the top hip just to keep it from rolling back. Or again, you might want to just, if it's comfy for you, take your arm behind and thread it underneath your waist, just to hold that position. Nice, that's quite a nice little stretch into the shoulder joint as well. So you can flip between these two. If you want to just have a couple, we are just opening and closing, by all means. Or if you want to just stick with the opening and closing, that's fine. Okay, but if you would like to include or continue with extension moves, so breathe out to lift, in to extend, out to come back, in to come down. Just a couple more. There we go, relax it there. Okay, and again, if you want to give it a rub, give it a pat. Get that blood flowing. Let it release out in front. Okay, and we'll give it a little quad stretch, so holding onto the shoelace area, take the knee, push it away. You might want to have the bottom leg a bit bent just for balance. But pushing that top knee away from the body, pushing the hip forwards, pushing the foot in towards the hand. Lovely, and back to that side line. We've just got these lovely chalk circles. Okay, so making sure you're still comfy in this sideline position, pushing that top hip away. Knees, ankles and hips stacked. When you're ready, breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, we'll just start drawing those circles. I fear I'm going to hit my curtain on this side, that's alright. But just really make it slow, make it controlled, make it comfortable. Open out that chest at the back. Okay. So again, the head will roll as the arm goes backwards, and you might want to hold that open position. So in an ideal world, you're really pressing that arm back. I'm a little bit limited on space here. Taking it round. I might move, shimmy myself forward just a little bit. There we go. Hopefully that's a bit better. There we go, lovely. So you might want to hold that open position. Again, try and keep these hips stacked if you can, so that you're working on the rotation through the thoracic spine, this kind of part of the spine behind the chest, opening out the shoulders, and just continue when you're ready. you might want to keep that completely continuous. Maybe you didn't want to have that hold, that's absolutely fine. But just thinking about how far you can reach in each direction, still having the shoulder blades drawn down the back, still keeping the spine long. A lovely big sweeping movement. Getting the circles as big as you can. And finding that edge. What is your edge? How far can you go? And it's just still comfortable, but you're just improving every little bit every week. Keeping those shoulder blades drawn down. We'll just do a couple more. Wonderful. And relax it there. Fantastic. Right, let's just come over onto all fours. We're going to go through a couple of rounds of cat and cow, so hands under shoulders, knees under hips. If you look up, let the chest drop down, let the head drop, bring the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Just getting that final bit of movement into the spine. That final stretch. And when you're ready, just take the body weight backwards, tuck the toes, straighten out through the legs slowly, and slowly bring that spine up. So you're rolling up, a lovely Pilates roll up to finish. And coming to the end of our work together tonight, breathe in and out, in and out. I do hope you enjoyed today's workout. I always do. If you did, please like, please share, drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you, and I do hope you'll be joining me again next week. Okay, take care, have a good week, bye.